back. Now the first part of the vlog that you see it happened a couple of days ago now. I went with my nieces to their swimming and watched them with my mum, and then after that I put the phone down and just completely forgot to do a bit of videoing throughout the rest of the day. So the first part of the clip will be me in the car talking about the day and whatnot, so I'm going to insert that just now. Hey going guys, so I'm starting my first vlog today. Welcome to my page. Now this is going to be about my polycystic ovarian syndrome journey with my partner Danny. Now we have been trying for about 7 years to be able to have a baby and there has been no luck. So throughout my vlogs, this is just basically what it's going to be about, is our journey and probably most likely our day-to-day life. Now so I'm starting my vlog off today. It is currently 10:47 a.m. and I'm actually off to go to my niece's swimming today, and I'm going to watch them while my sister's at home with her baby. So again, welcome to my little vlog. Now this vlog is going to be all about my journey with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now I am currently 25 years old. I turned 26 this year. My partner is 28 and his name is Danny. Now we've been together for 7 years now. We just had our anniversary a couple of days ago. So we've been together for 7 years, and in April it has been 7 years of us trying to conceive. Now my want for this channel is to bring out the awareness for polycystic ovarian syndrome and just show that it does a lot of damage to some people, emotionally, mentally. It's crazy. For people that don't deal with infertility, like fertility things, you honestly do not know what we go through. So for example, we've been trying for about 7 years now, and it has been a crazy ride. I first went to I think it was about 5 different doctors from the age of 18. Since like beginning of trying, like you think being young and that you would be able to instantly fall pregnant, and that was not the case. So I ended up seeing about 5 different doctors, and you would not guess what they kept on saying. It's your age, you'll be right, it's okay, just wait, it'll happen. Looked at my partner, I know something is wrong. Yeah, I know something is up. I know my body. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the medical side of things, but I know my body. Like, I can tell that something was up. So that was the first doctor. Second doctor I went to, she said the same thing. And at that time, when I was 18, I was around about 72 kilos. And she said to me that it was my age and the fact that I was overweight. I'm 160 centimeters, and at that time I was 70 kilos. So I would maybe assume that maybe I was like maybe 10 or 12 kilos overweight, but at that size, I didn't look too bad. Like, I wasn't the way I am at the moment. So it wasn't too bad. So I was like, okay, and just, you know, the way that they say it's your age and you're overweight, it's like, yes, I live in my body every single day. I think I know that I am overweight. I don't need to be pitied or talked down to because of my weight. So that I was really upset. I didn't end up going back to that doctor. Now that was number 2. Third doctor I went to, same thing again. It's your age, it'll happen, just wait a little bit longer. And with that as well, my cycles were never on time. They were 1 week, 1 month, and then weren't the next month, and I would miss 2 months. So it was always different each month, and you just never know. And you're going to a GP to find out all what you can, because you know they've gone to medical school, but they don't help you out with anything. They just keep saying the exact same thing. So I was like, all right, no worries. Went to the 4th doctor. I was on work cover at the time, and I spoke to her about it, and she's like, all right, no worries. We'll get on to things. She did mention it would be good for me to lose a bit of weight. It might help the situation. So, you know, I tried to, but at the time, like, just, you know, I was at the ends where, like, whatever that saying is, but I was just at the end of my roads, and I was just like, I'm sick of it. I need a GP that's going to listen to me, listen to the symptoms that I'm going through, and actually do something. You know, we're paying you medical fees, like, or Medicare is paying you all these fees and everything like that. Like, do your job. So she said to me, your next appointment, we'll talk about taking you to a gynaecologist, and we'll go from there. I was like, all right, no worries. I was getting really excited. Next appointment came, mentioned it. She didn't say nothing. So I was like, all right, no worries. Then the 5th doctor, I think I was up to. If not, I'll just skip to the 5th doctor. So she was amazing. Now, it was the first time seeing her. She was in the same medical practice that I was. I went for my work cover and whatnot. Now, I went to her and I was talking to her. Actually, I don't remember what I was talking to her about. It was something that was not related to my periods or trying to conceive or anything like that. I think I was actually unwell or something. And she was like, all right, well, let's have a look at your previous medical files just so I know I can get to know you. I was like, all right, no worries. And she read about it and she's like, oh, so you're trying for a baby? And I was like, yeah, I am. And she's like, oh, wonderful. And I'm like, yeah, I really am hoping that, you know, I get some sort of help. And she's like, oh, well, all right, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you off a referral to the hospital, which was La McEwen Hospital, which is my local hospital, to see a gynecologist. And I was like, really? Like, I was in shock because, you know, this is my aim that I've been trying to get to and got nowhere. So she ended up doing the referral. I was so happy. Like, finally a doctor read my file and actually did something about it. That I was stoked. I was so happy. And yeah, so I ended up going, like, she sent off the referral and whatnot, and I think I was actually on that waiting list for about a year and a half, I think it was, because it was going through the public system. I eventually got to go to this appointment. Literally 5 minutes into this consultation, she looks at my blood results. She chats to me about what I go through every single week, every day, freaking every night. And she looks at my ultrasounds and bam, straight away, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. And she explained to me what that was. And I was like, what? Just what? 5 minutes, guys, 5 minutes it took her to tell me that I've got polycystic ovarian syndrome. 5 minutes. Meanwhile, this was, I think, in 2014. I think it was, and my partner and I started in 2010. So it took 4 years, 5 different doctors to get to that point. So I explained to her that I was relieved, but I was quite pissed off that I went to all these doctors and none of them helped me out in any way. They just kept on saying it was my weight and it was my age, grow up a little bit, like, get older, you'll be right, kind of thing. Now, with polycystic ovarian syndrome, it causes you to put on weight. Polycystic ovarian syndrome isn't because we're overweight. It adds to being overweight, right? So for all you out there who think that just because we're fat, we have polycystic ovarian syndrome, that is not the case. Polycystic ovarian syndrome causes it. Now, I hate it when people say, lose weight, it'll cure it. It will not cure it. And if you know any people with infertility issues, do not say that to them because they're going through enough shit as it is. And there is no need for that to be spoken about. Yes, we are overweight. We have little big arms. We are large. But doesn't mean that we lack feelings or that we don't get upset by you saying that. But we all know that you are trying to be very, very supportive, and we give you the thumbs up for being supportive. But sometimes when people come to you and say, maybe you should lose some weight and then you will be able to have a baby, it's not the case. It is actually very hard for most women with PCOS to lose weight. There are quite a lot of women out there that are fit and have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and there are also, there's different shapes and sizes of us basically. I've seen people that are like 50 kilos and they've got this. Seen people that are 100 kilos to 150 to 200 kilos that has this. Your weight does not define you to having PCOS. It's just something that happens. Now, my new gynecologist, he told me the reason why they call it a syndrome is because technically they do not know what causes it. I actually read an article the other day that they think it might be starting in the brain. So they're testing on mouses just to see if it's a hormone or something like that. So, you know, it could be anything. It starts from something, but they're not 100% sure. So back to the gynecologist now. So I had that first appointment. She referred me off to go get, I forget what it's called. What is it called? I've forgotten what it's called. So basically what it is you go in for a day procedure. It doesn't take that long at all. Now what they do is they go in, it's just like a pap smear, and they put this like gigantic thing, like thin thing, up, and they let go of some dye into your fallopian tubes. Now what that does is it lets off this ink in your fallopian tubes, and they watch you on an x-ray ultrasound kind of machine. Now that's just to see if you have a blockage or not. If you have a blockage, then they clear it, and if you don't, well then that's great. So I didn't end up having any blockages, so that was great. I thought that if there was, it may have just been blown away or something like that, and I thought maybe now, fingers crossed, it'll work. Unfortunately, it didn't. I had to make another appointment to go back to see her. Now, this was in, I think, a space of 3 to 6 months, I think it was. So I went back, waited over an hour to see her, get called in by somebody else, and get told that, unfortunately, that gynecologist had moved back home because she was from London or something like that. She lived in Australia, but she's had to go back home. So I had this new one. I walked in the room. She looked at me up and down, and she said to me, "Okay, lose weight. I'll see you in 6 months' time." And she walked off. And I sat there, started to cry, and thought, "Are you kidding me? I've just sat here for an hour or so waiting for the next step. Yes, it may be that I need to lose some weight, but what else do I need to do in this time frame? Like, really?" I was pissed off. I didn't make another appointment because I did not want to go back there. I rang up my partner in tears, and I told him what had happened. And he was pissed off because, you know, it's not something that emotionally it really wrecks you. Because, yes, you know you are a larger person, but you don't need to be told to lose weight all the time. You are aware of it. So I didn't end up going back there, obviously. I then rang up my mum and I said, "What am I going to do? I need to find another gynecologist, someone that will actually go beyond and do anything and everything for me to be able to have this baby with my partner." And she mentioned the one that she used to go to when she had my brothers and sister, I think it was, or she had a procedure done or something like that, and she's always been with him or something like that. And his name was Dr. Duggan, and he was our local GP family clinic. I was like, all right, no worries. So I went to my GP and asked for a referral to go to him. Now, the only reason why I didn't go to him to start with is because my views of a male gynecologist, I was just a bit iffy. You know, you're not a female, you don't go through the certain things we do, so how are you meant to know like, yeah, fair enough, you've done your schooling and everything, but how are you really meant to know what we feel like with everyday life, like with our periods, with our pain and everything? And Mum's like, you know what, just give it a go. If you don't like him, find someone else. I was like, all right, no worries. And at this point, I'm up for anything. At the end of the day, I need to find somebody who's actually going to be there for me and my partner and follow us through this journey, because it has been horrible and it has been stressful and it's heartbreaking. So I ended up seeing him, I think it was middle of last year, I think it was. Now, he redid my blood work. He wasn't 100% sure that I actually had polycystic ovaries, because yes, I had all of the other symptoms, but I didn't have any cysts on my ovaries in previous scans or anything like that. So he wanted to just double check. So yeah, so he just wanted to double check all my results and everything like that, just to make sure that we're going in the correct path. So I went and had my blood test. I had my internal and stomach-wise ultrasound and whatnot, and things like that. Now, I then seen him, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks after, or a month after, to get these results, right? So I went back in there. Now, the blood results didn't really show you too much. It says, yeah, I had high testosterone and I had high this or low this and things like that. So it's like, with the polycystic ovary syndrome thing. But then he looked at my scans and looked again. And then I'm pretty sure he grabbed something out of his drawer, and he was looking at the screen and he was looking really close and reading it, and he's like, oh yeah, correct, no, there's definitely something. And then I was like, looked at my mum, I was like, what? Like, what is he doing? And he read to me the report. I was like, all right. So what had happened was, he was looking at my uterus and he was looking at my ovaries just to see what he could see. So in the uterus, I had a polyp growing. So what a polyp is, it's just like, you know, on some people how they get those little skin tags on their skins, and it's like a outside growing kind of freckle that's kind of loose. Now, that kind of thing was in my uterus. It's just a little growth in it. Nothing. Some can become cancerous, but it's like 5% maybe chance of it. So yeah, so he said that I had a polyp, and he goes, sometimes when there's something foreign growing in a uterus, sometimes it may cause you to be infertile, and it may, that's the reason maybe why that I'm not having a baby just yet. I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, so we're going to book you in to get that removed. I was like, all right, no worries. And he also said that I had 6 small cysts in a pearl-like, pearl necklace-like feature in a way on my ovary. I was like, okay then. And we were chatting about the surgery and filling out paperwork, and I left, and then I was like, wait, I forgot to ask him about the cysts. Like, are they serious? Like, how big are they? And I'll pop back in there, and I said to him, like, are they concerning or anything? And he goes, they're really, really, really small, so they're not concerning at the moment. If they do grow, then it may need to be taken out. I was like, all right, no worries. So then he said that because I'm going through a public system, it may take 6 months to be able to do it. So I was like, all right, no worries. Fast forward 6 months, get a letter in the mail saying that I've got to go to Queen Elizabeth Hospital, I think it was. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth Hospital, to see a gynaecologist there. And then I was like, wait a second, I already have a gynaecologist. Why do I have to see another one? Like, and I rang up and I explained that to him, that I got referred by my gynaecologist to get this surgery. She's like, yeah, you have to come see. And I was like, are you kidding me? Again? And then I've got to wait a further 6 months? No, I don't think so. Now, I tried to contact my gynecologist out, my GP. He's only there every 2 weeks, I think it is. And he wasn't there that week. And then I'm pretty sure he works around Royal Adelaide Hospital or in Royal Adelaide Hospital, so I rang them to chat to him. He was there, but she's like, unfortunately, because you're not a patient here, you can't talk to him. And I'm like, but I'm a patient of his, just I'm from a different clinic. And she's like, yeah, I'm really, really sorry. And I was like, oh, so what am I going to do now? I'm like, is there an email that I can email him? And she goes, no, we're not allowed to give that information out. I was like, all right, no worries. Thank you for your help. I called back to the clinic I go to, and I said to him, am I able to leave a message for him just to get back to me, or email to him or something like that? And they're like, yeah, send us your inquiry and we can email it to him. I was like, all right, no worries. A day went by, I didn't hear anything. Like, he could have been busy, but I didn't even get a confirmation from the medical centre saying that they had forwarded my email to him. So I did a bit of detective work, and I got on Google and I Googled his name, and would you know, his email address popped up. I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God, wait, would this really be him or not? But I was at that point, stuff it. I'm going to send an email to him. If it goes to the wrong person, they just found out some information of me that, you know, they may just want to delete. So I chatted to, I sent him an email, and within 5 minutes, bam, sent me an email back and said to me that he was going to sort it out, because he reckons that it was incorrect, that I shouldn't have been seeing a gynaecologist. I should have been straight away to a pre-anaesthetic appointment and straight into into surgery, basically. So he sent that off, and he sent one back saying, oh, done deal, someone's going to give you a call in a couple of days, and they're going to sort out your pre-assessment for the anaesthetic, and then they're going to set your your surgery up. And I was like, okay, wonderful. I was so happy. Rang up my mum, told her what I did, found the email account and whatnot, and she said, good on you. You know, you have to do things yourself if you want to get to where you need. And I was like, yes, yes you do. So got all that sorted. A couple of days did come. I had someone, and they rang me up and they told me that I've got the pre-assessment anaesthetic appointment on this day, and then on this next day I've got my surgery. So I was happy. I was a little bit scared because, you know, they're going up and they're cutting something in your uterus, and they're scraping stuff and doing stuff in that area, and you know, I get really bad cycles as it is, and I was kind of freaking out, even though it's just like a general procedure, nothing bad, nothing major, just I was freaking out. So that happened. Now on that day, it was the 19th of November, on that day I had my mum come with me. She comes with me to all of my appointments, so I was really happy. Yeah, she came with me. I think the procedure went for maybe 2.5 hours or something like that, I think it was. Mum waited in the waiting room with my iPad, and I showed her how to play some games. So she played some games while she waited. And yeah, and then came out. I was so much pain. Now I got told that it won't cause as much pain, it will just be cramping, but man, I was in a lot of pain. And there was quite a bit of blood in that area as well, so they had to double check that before I left, because sometimes they may nick a certain area and it might produce more blood, so they just need to double check with that. So I ended up calling my mum saying that I was ready, and she made her way back upstairs and realised there was a waiting room just down the hall, so she was like, God damn it, I waited downstairs all this time. So yeah, she came up and we sat and waited for a little bit. I had something to eat, had something to drink, had to make my way to the bathroom, did that, and then that was it, I think it was. And then after that, got given this paperwork to go, I think it was for a checkup. I think it was like an appointment and whatnot. And then I get a phone call, and it's the nurse saying, forget about that appointment card, we gave you the wrong card, that was actually for a different patient. And I was like, oh, okay then. And they booked another appointment with my gynaecologist at my GP. So he made the appointment with my gynaecologist for a checkup within, I think it was 6 months. If anything I felt was an issue between that time frame, I would have to go back to GP. And I sat there, I was like, alright, no worries, wrote it all down, put it in my phone, hung up, and my mum's like, what was that all about? I was like, they gave me a different patient's appointment pad or card, whatever you want to call it. She laughed and she goes, that's pretty funny, even though it's just an appointment, but you know, getting it mixed up. And she said to me, she goes, this is the reason why I told you to make sure you read the paperwork before you go in, because you don't want to, you know, go in to get a procedure done next week you've had a hysterectomy kind of thing. So she was worried about that. Now, the surgery itself went pretty good. There wasn't anything abnormal or anything like that. They cleaned it all out and everything like that. They got rid of the polyp, which was really good. I was, like I said, I was a bit scared going in, but the surgical team were the best. Literally, they're all dancing and pushing you in and just having a good old laugh. Literally, Grey's Anatomy, in a way, style surgery area. It was low-key kind of people. And you know, when you're going into surgery, when you've got all these thoughts in your mind, it's exactly what you want. And it's just, it really made a big difference. And to the people at Queen Elizabeth Hospital who were my surgeons and nurses and whatnot, beautiful effort, and you guys made me leave with a smile on my face, because I felt like an equal in surgery. Sometimes I've had previous surgery and the people in the surgery room were absolute arseholes. So big change. It was good. So yeah, that went great. And since then it wasn't too bad. So yeah, so that all went pretty good. Now I did have a checkup after 6 months. Everything went good. The first and second cycle, I think it was, were on time, so that was really good. But so that was December and January. February came, nope, nowhere to be seen. So I was thinking, ooh, could this be it? But it wasn't. So then I ended up having my next appointment. So that appointment was to talk about going on Clomid. Now, going on Clomid was my goal. For those previous years I had been seeing other doctors, is to try this Clomid, try this drug to hopefully help me ovulate, because my first gyno appointment told me that I don't ovulate. So that's the reason why it's called ovulation, I think it is, whereas you still get a cycle but you don't ovulate. So went in, had a chat to him about it. Now, in that time frame, I actually took it upon myself to try out Duromine. Now, what Duromine is, it just basically helps you lose some weight. It lowers your cravings, kind of thing, and it basically for me, it just lowered my cravings. I had no cravings for anything, and I ate just the usual set meals a day. So from November, and I think it was in February that I had my follow-up appointment for that surgery. So from November to February, I lost 13 kilos. So freaking happy about that. So happy. Did such a good job. So I lost 13 kilos. And I said to him, well, I've lost 13 kilos now. So, and he's like, oh, wonderful. You know, even if it was 1, 2 or 3 kilos, it means something at the end of the day, because with Clomid there is that risk of having twins, and if you have twins it can lead into preeclampsia, I think it's called, as well as having premature babies, and if you have triplets then higher again, and being a larger girl having a baby, that also has its risk factors as well. So I lost those 13 kilos and I've kept those off. Now I've not taken Duromine for a couple months now, just because I didn't want it to interfere with my Clomid. Now the doctor said that it wouldn't interfere with it, but just knowing my luck, something would go wrong. So the cycle was a month late and I finally got it, so I then started my Clomid. And I felt like utter crap. Now, I don't know if it was because of the medication or if it was me just maybe getting sick or something like that, but I just felt like I got hit by a truck and I was so tired. 3 months, 3 weeks, I was so tired. every day off I was sleeping. Every night I was sleeping. I just felt like crap. I ended up having a number of days off work because of it, because I just couldn't get better. I tried my best. I made sure I was drinking plenty of water. I was eating my set meals. I was going to bed early, and I was trying to, you know, make the most out of my day, but just it was not getting better at all. So, and then I eventually started getting a bit better, and then I got sick. So maybe it was me just starting to get sick. So that all happened, and I did the cheapy ovulation test that you do at home. You just dip it in your pee and just wait 10 minutes and then just see if it works or not. So I did that for until day 23, I think it was. Now day 20 was the darkest line, and then day 22 was a somewhat dark line as well. Now, because I had run out of my tests, I just stopped doing that, as well as I had a blood test on the 21st to see if I had ovulated. Now, my GP called me and told me it was 13.6. Because it's not his area, he doesn't know much of it. He's unsure if that means I ovulated or not. So now I have to wait until the day 28 result, which I get on Thursday with my next gynaecologist appointment. Now, I get that with him, and it'll basically show if I've ovulated. If it rises, it means it did. If not, it means that I didn't. So I'm hoping I did, but I'm going to just go in thinking that I didn't, because I really don't know, and I don't want to get my hopes up, because every month you get your hopes up if you're a couple of days late, and I just really don't want to get my hopes up and just be shattered, because that means that I have to wait for another cycle and up the dose of medication, and then if that one doesn't work, then I have to go to have another cycle and up the medication on that one, and if that doesn't work, well then really we've tried all our options, and the next option would be having to go get IVF. And at this stage, we do have in mind where we would go, because it is bulk billed, but still there is the fees for medication and surgical fees and things like that you may need to pay as an extra fee. So we would have to wait and save up for that. Yeah, so that would be our next point, would be going and trying to do IVF. Now, if those cycles don't work, if we do try the IVF, I really do not know what we're going to do. Danny suggested maybe adoption, but I don't know. I think at this stage I would not be ready to adopt another person's child. Like, I know we would give them a way better life, but just at this stage I don't think I could adopt a child. In a few years maybe, because the way I look at it is, yeah, I'm giving them a life that they may not have, and I can give this child the love that I would if it was from my own body, kind of thing. And I definitely will look into it. I have looked into it in the last couple of days. It is quite expensive, and the waiting is a couple of years. It's like 3 to 4 years. So if we did do it, we'd kind of have to do it ASAP in a way. But at this stage, I don't think that we're at that stage, and I think it is going to be something that's going to be our last option, absolute last option. Don't get me wrong, I will love that child the same as if it was my own blood, but I do think that at this stage, I'm not ready to make that move to adopt a child. I'm really set on having my own baby from my own body, but if it does become that day that I do end up adopting, it won't mean that I will love that child less. I will love it as equal as any other child, whether if it's my own or adoptive. So yeah, so this is basically my journey so far. Now I'm going to post another video in a couple of minutes, and it's going to be
basically about the mental health side of things, and what that has done to me. So I'm going to post that after I've edited this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed my video. Now give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. I just really want the awareness to be out for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and there just to be more knowledge to people, because I do know for a fact there's not a lot of people that understand it. There's not a lot of friends there for you. They just continue on with, just relax, it'll happen, be positive. If you live my life day to day, month to month, year to year, the positivity flies out the window. We appreciate it so much, you're caring and you're trying to give some advice to us, but yeah, it's really hard, and some people really don't get it unless they're also going through PCOS as well. So yeah, so I just really want to thank you guys for coming to my channel and watching my video. Again, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe and share around. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it is very lengthy. I think it's going to be a good couple of minutes. Yeah, a long couple of minutes. I really thank you for watching and the support that you may then give. I really appreciate it, guys. Give it a thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful day, and just remember, life is way too precious. Make the most of it. Alright? See you guys next time. Thank you for watching.